going. I hope आप revision अच्छे से कर रहे हैं. And as I always say that please keep looking at your syllabus, जो UPSC का main syllabus है, and keep connecting whatever articles from the newspaper you're reading, so that you know how and on what lines you should expect questions based on that article which you're reading. Some of the students I saw, they have commented that how to read syllabus, how to memorize syllabus. देखो, you cannot memorize syllabus. UPSC mains वाला जो है, you cannot memorize syllabus. What you can do is, you can every day keep on looking at your syllabus. जो हर वर्ड दिया है उसको देखो, पेपर 1 देखो, उसमें कैसे हिस्ट्री के टर्मिनोलॉजीज क्या है, ज्योग्राफी के टर्मिनोलॉजीज क्या क्या यूज़ किए गए हैं. अगर पेपर 2 में जाते हैं, गवर्नेंस देखते हैं, पॉलिटी, उसमें यू मस्ट सी हाउ द टर्मिनोलॉजीज, व्हाट आर द टर्म्स विच हैज बीन मेंशन्ड इन योर सिलेबस, एंड एज एंड व्हेन you'll keep on looking at them religiously every day, you'll start connecting your syllabus with whatever you read from newspaper, with whatever you read from static portion. Also, with this activity, one more activity which you require to do is referring to PYQs. PYQs refer करने से आपको ट्रेंड समझ में आएगा कि यूपीएससी जब क्वेश्चन फॉर्म करता है बेस्ड ऑन द करंट अफेयर्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर जो ईयर है उसमें, और जो स्टैटिक पोर्शन से उठा करके यूपीएससी क्वेश्चंस फ्रेम कैसे करता है. सो दैट इज़ वाई दैट इज़ द बेनिफिट ऑफ रीडिंग एंड लुकिंग एट सिलेबस एवरी डे. तो दैट इज़ माई स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट सजेशन एज अ मेंटोर एवरी डे, दैट यू मस्ट कीप लुकिंग ऑन सिलेबस. सिलेबस को रटने की ज़रूरत नहीं है आपको, हर दिन यू हैव टू लुक एट द सिलेबस एंड यू हैव टू कॉन्शियसली अंडरस्टैंड द टर्म्स विच इज़ गिवन देयर. अपने आप से समझो ना, जो टर्म्स आप पढ़ते हो अपने आप से देखिए कि उसका मतलब क्या हो सकता है. अचानक से तो समझ में नहीं आ जाएगा unless you have covered the entire syllabus on your own or by the help of some institute. So just look at the syllabus, you will start understanding and memorizing what all has been given in the syllabus. Before we start our discussion of the day of the newspaper, I have a question to ask, जो मैं हमेशा I ask in the mocks as well from the students from the candidates who are appearing in interview, that what do you think, what is important for success? Is it the hard work, prowess, or the fortune, which is luck? Which factor is more important to get success in life? What do you think? तो जो बहुत पिक्यूलियर, बहुत डिफरेंट आंसर्स आते हैं. कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि फॉर्च्यून बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है. मान लो मैं कुछ पढ़ के आज गई, आज मेरा मेंस का पेपर है, आज मैंने कुछ पढ़ा और लकली वही आ गया एग्जाम में और मैंने बहुत अच्छे से आंसर लिख दिया. तो सम से फॉर्च्यून इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, फार इंपॉर्टेंट दैन हार्ड वर्क. सम से इफ हार्ड वर्क, आई एम डूइंग हार्ड वर्क, देन फॉर्च्यून विल फॉलो. एक बहुत अच्छा आंसर आया था जो मुझे बहुत इट इम्प्रेस्ड मी अ लॉट, एंड आई थिंक इट अप्लाइज टू एवरी वन ऑफ अस, दैट सी फॉर्चून और द लक इज नॉट इन आवर हैंड. व्हाट इज इन आवर हैंड? इट इज़ हार्ड वर्क. सो आप हार्ड वर्क करते रहिए, द फॉर्चून विल बेंड to your hard work, and you will get success in your life. Even a political thinker, Machiavelli, he said that for a prince to successfully run a state, prowess, that is hard work, and the fortune, that is luck, both is required. But he also said that fortune is like violent river, it's like a woman. So woman embraces brevity. So if you do hard work, the fortune will help you to get success in your life. With this thought, let's begin the discussion of our newspaper today. What all article you need to refer, I have mentioned them all. Please mark it in your paper. The first article which you need to read is DMs to be responsible sanitation authority. This is important for GS paper 2, issues relating to development and management of social sector services relating to health, education, human resource. So you have to read this article keeping in mind UPSC main syllabus of GS paper 2. And then the second article which you need to refer is Sri Lankan Navy arrest 19 Indo fishermen. So, but obvious, this is very important for GS paper 2. India and its neighborhood relations, it has been mentioned in your syllabus. And then third article, which is very important, High Court has taken a serious view on this, that is 196 babies born in Bengal jails getting women in Bengal jails getting pregnant. So this is important for women. This article is important for women empowerment, etc. and jail reforms also. So this will be important for GS paper 1, role of women. If you look at your syllabus, I have mentioned the entire syllabus in very specific to what part of the syllabus this particular topic is important. Role of women and women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization, their problems and their remedies. Next article, please mark it down. NAI code to pronounce punishment for Riyas today. Page number 6, National Investigation Agency code to pronounce punishment. GS paper 3, various security forces and agencies and their mandate. So mark it down. And next is towards uniformity. This will be important for your Constitution of India paper, GS paper 2, historical underpinnings, evolution, features, amendments, significant provisions and basic structure. This is how you remember. You keep asking how do you remember, how do you understand your main syllabus? By always marking and looking at the syllabus all the time. You see the articles and connecting with syllabus. That's how you will start remembering. The 6th article which you need to raise is charting a path for population committee, role of women and women's organization, population and associated issues, poverty and developmental issues, urbanization and their problems and their remedies. Page number 10. Next article. There are much of good articles today, but they don't need to be discussed in detail. You can read on your own and understand. We will be discussing though just 2 to 3 articles in detail. With respect to mains point of view, we will be taking some questions. These articles, for some of the articles which I will skip in discussion, you can read on your own. There is nothing tricky about it. You can just develop some point of view of your own by reading these articles, but don't miss them, just read them. Okay? Article 7 which we will be reading is R&D spend, golden intervention or smoke and mirrors. Alright, this is for GS paper 3, Indian economy and issues relating to planning, mobilization of resources, growth, development and employment. Article 18, please mark the Paytm Payment Bank debacle. This will be important for GS paper 3 again, the same. And Article 9, Center to scrap free movement regime with Myanmar. This is again important for GS paper 2, India and its neighborhood relations. Alright, so the first article which we will be taking in detail is We Saved Economy from a Crisis, Government Says White Paper. Page number 1, we will be looking at the difference between white paper, the meaning of white paper and black paper, meaning of the two, difference between white paper and black paper. This will be looking at, and then in CRISPR-R we are understanding what is CRISPR-R and what are the challenges, what does CRISPR-R do, what are the challenges associated, ethical challenges in particular associated with CRISPR-R. Like the article itself mentions about what is CRISPR-R and then challenges, in particular ethical challenges involved with use of CRISPR-R in gene editing, and then what could be the way forward. We will be taking a mains question and we will discuss this particular article in that respect in detail. Third article which we will be taking is mental disorder. अगर आप UPSC previous year paper just 2023 का paper देखेंगे तो you will find there is a question on suicide. So if you read these days papers, there are news about suicide, number of suicides increasing, and there is also a report that in few years mental disorders or suicide will become one of the major factors behind rising deaths in India. So we will be looking at some reports which will talk on these aspects of mental disorder and suicide, etc. What are the challenges of reporting in mental disorder, what are the issues in self-reporting in mental disorder, what are the stigmas associated with mental disorder because of which people do not come and report on it. So all these things, in terms of then what is mental disorder, how we'll take this article. What does data say? That's how you should deconstruct. What does data say? And then what are the challenges? Is there any government initiative? And then conclusion, or say what could be a way forward. So this is how we will proceed with this particular article. Let's see our first article in detail. We saved economy from a crisis, government says in white paper, page number 1. So what is black paper? What is white paper? Let's look at the meaning. Black papers and white papers serve different functions. Both have different functions in terms of academic, governmental and organizational settings. Here's a breakdown of their characteristics. So what is black paper first? Read about it. The paper, black paper presents a critical or dissenting viewpoint. क्या होता है? Black paper mostly opposition वाले इस पेपर को प्रेजेंट करेंगे. तो ये किस फॉर्म में होगा? क्या नेचर होगा इसका? क्रिटिकल होगा ऑब्वियसली, डिसेंटिंग होगा on some issues which has been mentioned on a particular topic, कोई भी टॉपिक पे, इशू पे या फिर पॉलिसी पे. It challenges prevailing narratives, policies और व्यू पॉइंट्स थ्रू क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस. सो इसका जो हाईलाइट है यही है दैट इट विल गिव अ क्रिटिकल और डिसेंटिंग पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, addressing controversial subjects, providing evidence and proposing alternative approaches. This is about black paper. तो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्या होते हैं ब्लैक पेपर के? इट इज अ क्रिटिकल एनालिसिस, मीनिंग सही समझ में आ जाएगा. ऑपोजिशनल स्टांस होता है, ठीक है, एक्सप्रेसेस ऑपोजिशन और डिसेंट, चैलेंजिंग प्रिवेलिंग नैरेटिव्स. सिर्फ उसको अब डिकंस्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हैं जो इसका मीनिंग था. कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल टॉपिक पे बात करेगा ब्लैक पेपर. It will be evidence-based argument. There will be fact or data supplied in the paper which will support the critical viewpoint which has been mentioned. Advocacy for change, because it is voicing against some prevailing policies, some prevailing viewpoints, and then it has provided evidence also. So why the purpose is to bring change, advocate for change. That is the characteristics of black paper. Then what is white paper? In contrast, white paper provides comprehensive information, analysis and proposals. तब जब white paper कोई व्यू पॉइंट लाएगा तभी तो ब्लैक पेपर उस पर क्रिटिकल व्यू पॉइंट अपना देगा. तो कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इंफॉर्मेशन, एनालिसिस एंड प्रपोजल्स ऑन अ स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक और रुचि, किसी स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक या इशू पे दिस वाइट पेपर विल गिव इस कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इंफॉर्मेशन. इट एम्स टू इन्फॉर्म डिसीजन मेकिंग प्रोसेसेस. जो भी डिसीजन लिए गए हैं उसका प्रोसेस क्या था उसके बारे में दिस पेपर विल इन्फॉर्म इन डिटेल. So proposes solutions. It will also provide for solutions and present recommendation for actions. A white paper as a crucial tool for informing policymakers, stakeholders and the public. Inform करेगा public को about the government's policies. So these are the characteristics or the meaning of white paper. अब इसको ब्रेक डाउन करते हैं कि कैरेक्टरिस्टिक क्या होगा. ऑब्वियसली कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इन्फॉर्मेशन है, ऑब्जेक्टिव टोन होता है, देयर विल बी इन्फॉर्मेशन और न्यूट्रल टोन रहेगा कि ऑब्जेक्टिव मतलब कोई स्क्यूड इन्फॉर्मेशन नहीं रहेगी. दिस विल बी कंप्लीटली ऑब्जेक्टिव, न्यूट्रल स्टांस, पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव नहीं रहेगा. पॉलिसी रिकमेंडेशंस होंगे, ऑब्वियसली ऑथोरिटेटिव सोर्स होगा, ऑफन साइट्स ऑथोरिटेटिव सोर्सेज, रिसर्च फाइंडिंग्स एक्सेट्रा. व्हेनेवर यू टॉक बेस्ड ऑन सम ऑब्जेक्टिविटी और you have a neutral stance, then obviously you have to support your arguments. So there will be arguments, there will be data and facts or research findings supporting these recommendations or these comprehensive detailed information which has been provided. So this is about white paper. And then next article which we will take in detail with the help of a question, practice question. Please go to the article with CRISPR poised to revolutionize therapy, a pause to consider ethics. So in this, what do you need to understand? What is CRISPR-R? All right, how it does the gene editing. क्या है CRISPR? Actually it's an enzyme. DNA strand, it cuts the DNA strands. to delete some characteristics, undesired characteristics, or bring or carry forward desired characteristics. So what is CRISPR? This is gene. You need to know how. Then with what it does, how it raises a question on ethicality of this CRISPR process. So this that's how you need to approach this particular article. Look at the question, and with help of this question we will be tackling this article, and everything related to CRISPR-Cas9 will be dealt with. If you can deal with this question in detail, पढ़िए question. Analyze the ethical considerations surrounding the use of gene editing technologies such as CRISPR-Cas9. अगर पूरा नाम देखें तो इसका नाम क्या है? CRISPR-Cas9 in human embryos and its potential impact on future generation. So इस question के कितने parts हैं? You have to write what is this CRISPR-Cas9, and then you have to write what are the challenges, and then you have to write along with the challenges you have to reflect how it is going to impact the future generation, and then obviously you have to mention way forward or a conclusion. So let's see how you approach this question. Approach कैसा होगा? Introduce about, as I said, CRISPR-Cas9 technology. In body में ethical issues लिखना है, and then you have to give a way forward. So how do you introduce your answer? Write about CRISPR. What is CRISPR? This is clustered regulatory. आपको याद भी नहीं रहेगा इसका मतलब, इसका full form अगर CRISPR का नहीं याद है तो कोई problem नहीं है. Just have a look at this though. Clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. So what are they? They're clustered regularly interspaced short palindromic repeats. Cas9 is basically an enzyme. So what it is? It is an enzyme. CRISPR-Cas9 is an enzyme that is used to, like a pair of scissors, to cut. It's like a pair of scissors to cut. जैसे आप कोई धागे को काटने के लिए जो है scissors का यूज करते हैं, वैसे भी CRISPR जीन्स और DNA को कट करने के लिए एज अ सीजर यूज होता है. सो टू कट 2 strands ऑफ DNA एट अ स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन. कहाँ पे? स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन पे. DNA को स्पेसिफिक लोकेशन पे कट करता है. टू ऐड, एज आई सेड इन द बिगिनिंग, टू ऐड और टू रिमूव और रिपेयर. सो क्या करेगा CRISPR-Cas9? क्या कर सकता है? दिस कैन ऐड, दिस कैन रिपेयर और दिस कैन रिमूव the bits of DNA. This technology allows scientists to modify the DNA of living organisms with high precision. So किसका जो है DNA alter होता है इसमें? living organism का, embryo stage पे. So what it is? It is an enzyme. Focus on these. What it does is it cuts the 2 strands of DNA to add, remove or repair bits of DNA. So this is CRISPR. Use of CRISPR-Cas technology raises a host of ethical consideration and potential impacts for future generations. Informed consent. Challenge क्या है? Ethical issue क्या है इसमें involved? There is an informed consent. It raises questions about level of understanding and consent individuals have regarding potential risks, benefits and long-term consequences of altering genetic makeup of future generation. जैसे कि informed consent लेने में there is lot of confusions. लोगों को पता ही नहीं कि इसका potential risk क्या हो सकता है. चलो आज जो desired characteristics है, by cutting, adding, removing, repairing the DNA, हम we might achieve that characteristic. But what about tomorrow's potential changes it might bring? Nobody knows. So is it an informed consent? This actually raises a question on it being an informed consent or not. Similarly, unintended consequences है. क्या पता add, cut, repair करने से क्या consequence आ सकता है? We do not know in tomorrow's DNA. So that is also an ethical concern about it. जो third point है, detrimental to humanity. Ethical concern है ये भी. Gene editing can address genetic diseases and disabilities, but positive क्या है? It can address genetic diseases and disabilities, but using it for non-medical purposes. अगर medical purpose है to make the life of human better by removing diseases, by addressing to some diseases or removing it, दैट इज फाइन, बट अगर नॉन मेडिकल पर्पस के लिए यूज हो रहा है क्रिस्पर Cas9 जैसी टेक्नोलॉजी, तो ये एथिकल कंसर्न है. क्यों? बिकॉज इट ऑल्सो इंटेंड्स टू ऑल्टर ट्रेड्स एंड इनहेंसिंग सर्टेन कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. मतलब अगर किसी को ब्लू आई का बच्चा चाहिए, हमें भाई ब्लू आइड चाइल्ड बेबी चाहिए, तो ठीक है, वी विल ऐड दिस कैरेक्टरिस्टिक टू द डीएनए थ्रू हेल्प ऑफ दिस सीजर एंजाइम सीजर क्रिस्पर Cas9. हमें जो है ब्राउन हेड वाला बच्चा चाहिए, इतनी हाइट चाहिए या इतना उसका स्किन कलर ऐसा होना चाहिए. So isn't it an ethical concern? If it is used for non-medical purposes, then that raises a question. This could exacerbate social inequalities. जिसके पास पैसा है वो डिजाइनर बेबीज भी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, ब्लू आईज का बच्चा, लॉन्ग ब्लैक हेयर, फेयर स्किन, हाइट इतनी होनी चाहिए. तो जिनके पास पैसा दे कैन अवेल, एंड दिस विल इंक्रीज सोशल इनइक्वालिटीज फर्दर एंड लीड टू अ arms race of genetic enhancement. Arms race. So this is one concern. Loss of autonomy. Alteration made in germline cells like sperm, eggs and embryos. अगर जो क्रिस्पर Cas9 से germline cells में ही alteration कर दी जाती. germline cells कौन कौन से होते हैं? sperm, eggs and embryo. This would be passed on to future generation. मतलब अगर germline cells में ही changes कर दिए जाएंगे through CRISPR Cas9, तो these traits will get embedded in the DNA and this will get transferred to generations. So raising questions about the implication for the autonomy of well-being of those individuals who have no say in the decision. तो आज जिसने डिसीजन मेकिंग में पार्ट लिया, फ्यूचर जनरेशन का उनका डिसीजन मेकिंग में था ही नहीं. सो इट इज क्वाइट अननेचुरल. these traits will be passed on to this. Then there is a loss of autonomy. That is another ethical concern. Equity and access. Gene editing intelligence may not be widely accessible because obviously it will be very costly, so not everybody can have an access to it. Environmental justice भी एक ethical issue है जो CRISPR Cas9 जैसी technologies raise करती हैं question. Altering the genetic makeup of humans could have unforeseen effects on ecosystem. पता है जैसे बीटी ब्रिंजल वगैरह भी है, बीटी कॉटन है, जो ये ऐसी भी प्लांट्स में भी अगर ऐसा जो चेंजेस हमने थ्रू बीटी एंड ऑल वी ब्रॉड, वी डिड नॉट नो व्हाट वी इंटेंडेड टू. सिमिलरली अगर this kind of changes are being brought in DNA, we do not know what challenges might bring tomorrow for ecosystem, entire ecosystem. तो species interdependence and evolution of future generations पे भी this will raise a big question. वे फॉरवर्ड में फिर क्या लिख सकते हैं आप? वे फॉरवर्ड में आप लिख सकते हैं दैट द यूज ऑफ जीन एडिटिंग टेक्नोलॉजी इन ह्यूमन एम्ब्रियो रेजेस प्रोफाउंड एथिकल कंसिडरेशन. नाउ ठीक है, वी हैव एक्सेप्टेड दिस विल ब्रिंग अ प्रोफाउंड एथिकल कंसिडरेशन. तो करना क्या है? स्ट्राइकिंग अ बैलेंस बिटवीन द पोटेंशियल बेनिफिट्स एंड रिस्क. बेनिफिट्स हैं, ठीक है, बहुत सारे डिसीज वगैरह एलिमिनेट किए जा सकते हैं. तो इस बेनिफिट्स को और रिस्क को, जो कि एथिकल कंसर्न्स हैं रिलेटेड टू these gene editing technology, उनका proper balance will help eliminate these ethical challenges, ensuring informed consent, avoiding unintended consequences. वही जो challenges हैं उन्हीं को आप यहाँ पे mention कर दो. And addressing issues of equity and global governance are crucial for responsible and ethical application of these technologies and the impact which it is going to bring on future generations. So this is how you can say that bring a balance between potential risks and benefits so that it does not negatively impact the future generation and overall ecosystem. That is how you can conclude your answer on CRISPR Cas9, the question which we took. I hope CRISPR Cas9 से जो related ethical challenges है are very much clear. What is CRISPR Cas9 is very much clear, and how you should conclude such type of questions we have discussed. Now let's move to third article which we are going to take in detail is self-reporting of mental disorders in India, lower than burden. Page number 11. तो इसका जो क्रक्स है पूरे आर्टिकल का, उसमें जो हमको क्या क्या पढ़ना है कि कुछ डेटा दिए हुए हैं जो ये शो करते हैं दैट मेंटल हेल्थ जो कंडीशंस है दे आर बीइंग अंडर रिपोर्टेड इन इंडिया. एंड कुछ स्टडीज़ हैं, जैसे आर्टिकल में ही ऐसा मेंशन है, उसको डीकंस्ट्रक्ट करके यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा हुआ है. उसमें ये मेंशन है दैट researchers from IT Jodhpur indicate alarmingly low rates of self-reporting. सो IIT जोधपुर में जो रिसर्च हुई है वो ये शो करती है दैट देयर इज अलार्मिंगली लो रेट्स ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग. अगर रिपोर्टिंग नहीं होगी तो अवेयरनेस नहीं आएगी लोगों में, अवेयरनेस नहीं आएगी तो गवर्नमेंट विल नॉट स्टेप इन टू टेक सर्टेन एक्शंस and eliminate this problem of mental disorder which is rising day by day in India. And also India is blessed with a demographic dividend जो कि 28 जो average age है Indians की, that is 28. अगर mental disorder among youth is very high, don't you think it is going to decrease the productivity overall? If the productivity of the youth is compromised, don't you think the productivity of the entire economy is compromised? And the productivity of entire economy being compromised means productivity of the entire nation in terms of social, polity, psychological, economical, in every sphere. This will cause a havoc on the nation, on the entire nation. So there is low reporting of mental disorder, mental health issues, low rates for self-reporting of mental health problems in India. What are the datas NSS 2017-18 का finding है, you can read about it. And then this scale of mental illness 2017 NIMHANS NMHS conducted by NIMHANS estimated around 150 million individuals requiring treatment for mental illness in India. So 150 million people are required to have mental illness treatment in India. So this is one suicide trends. UPSC में last year question भी आया है. So mental disorder yet another area to be asked by UPSC. So some of the facts you need to know, and people who are going for interview this year, for them also this article becomes very important. Suicide, India's contribution to global suicide deaths surged to 36% in 2016. So जितना भी global level पे suicidal deaths हैं, India accounts for 36% of that. Imagine the higher the trend, with a concerning rise reported in 2021. 2021 में there was isolation and loneliness also, which increased the rates, suicide rates, because of the impact of COVID as well. So 2021 में this trend has increased, especially among youth and middle-aged adults. Youth and middle-aged adults. So this is the alarming data you can see. National Mental Health Survey, अगर NMHS के डेटा की बात करें तो it says that alarming rates of depression among teenagers and substance use disorders, prevalence of 20.4% among adults, highlighting the gravity of the situation. So these are the data which highlights a very poor state of mental health in India. What are the key challenges in reporting of these mental health issues? Stigma and awareness. लोग कहते हैं अगर people are fearful that if they say that they are suffering through some mental health issue, they will be stigmatized. That is why they do not go and report. तो पहला पॉइंट वो है स्टिग्मा एंड अवेयरनेस. आउट ऑफ पॉकेट एक्सपेंसेस, जो साइकोलॉजिकल सपोर्ट है, मेंटल हेल्थ सपोर्ट जो मेंटल हेल्थ प्रोफेशनल है, नॉट एवरीबडी कैन अफोर्ड. सो गवर्नमेंट का जो इंटरवेंशन है दैट इज नॉट वेरी मच डीप, बिकॉज ऑफ विच whoever goes to seek mental health support, they have to spend from their own pockets. That is also one of the reasons because of which people do not seek mental health support. So vulnerability factors, like individuals with lower income and education levels are more vulnerable. People who do not have opportunities of employment, people who have not opportunity of better education, people who do not have proper family support, they are more vulnerable to such mental health issues. And that is what it is talking about. Socioeconomic divide भी है. Individuals with higher incomes who are more likely to report health problems because they can seek mental health, with whatever out of pocket expenditure is required, they can afford it, but poor people cannot afford it. पहले ही their lack of opportunity in terms of employment, in terms of job and education facilities, and also they do not have much money, so they don't go and seek mental health support, and that causes more of suicidal tendencies among people who are poor or who cannot afford such facilities. So there is a socio-economic divide. These are the key challenges. Further, budget infrastructure, inadequate budget allocation and lack of insurance coverage भी है. Insufficient infrastructure poses hurdles to mental health. Infrastructure मतलब mental health जो providers हैं, mental health experts, shortage of professionals है, there is shortage of professionals. So 3 psychiatrists per million. सोचो 3 psychiatrists per million people. 1 million पे only 3 psychiatrists. such a poor state. So this is also one of the challenges. Government initiatives क्या क्या लिए गए हैं, जैसे Mental Health Care Act 2016, National Mental Health Policy 2014, जो MHA 2016 है, that aims to safeguard the rights of individuals with the mental illness, enhance access to mental health and decriminalize suicide attempts. So Mental Health Care Act 2016 has decriminalized suicide attempts. National Mental Health Policy 2014 क्या कहता है? It has prioritized universal access to mental health care and endeavors to mitigate risk factors linked to mental health. So these are the two government initiatives majorly which has been taken for mental health care in India. What could be the way forward? Combat the stigma. First of all, bring awareness. Work with NGOs, civil societies to bring awareness. Maybe Nukkad Natak could be also one of the initiatives which can be taken up to bring awareness among people that mental health issue is not a stigma. It's like if you're having headache, you go to a doctor, take medicine. Why not people with mental health issues can avail mental health expert, just like you have availability of doctors if you have a headache. So treat mental health care on as equal to as having physical problems like headache or stomachache or something like that. Why stigmatize mental health so much? So this is one of the things. Enhance awareness, bring awareness, improve coordination, like among the strength and collaboration between central and state governments to effective policy implementation. So state government and central government has to come forward, and there has to be integration in bringing out the policies for mental health care. Innovative solutions भी होने चाहिए, जैसे telemental health services. अगर someone is going through under some mental health challenge, and if there is support like tele support, somebody who can be available while someone is under stress and that person can talk. अगर ये देखा होगा कि कुछ लोग जब स्ट्रेस में रहते हैं, if they can reach out, they have easy reachability to someone at that particular time, बस उनको कोई सुन ले तो वो जो stressful situation होता है, because of which there is a kind of vicious cycle which gets created, एक loop create हो जाता है, negative से और negative से, because of which the mental health turns into suicidal tendencies, self harm and suicidal tendencies, ultimately might lead to suicide as well. एक बहुत triggered emotions होते हैं at that particular time. At that time, if there is someone who can at least be available to listen and to talk to the person, तो उसमें बहुत support मिल जाता है, and वो person can be taken out from that stressful situation, and suicidal attempts can be prevented. तो वही बात कर रहा है कि there has to be the telemental health services can be explored, bolster support for NGOs and foster community engagement. Community engagement, societal engagement बहुत important होता है. Multi sectoral approach लाने की जरूरत है. कैसे? Life course perspective on mental health promotion and enforce legal frameworks, legal issues जो इसमें है mental health के related उनको, और life course perspective लाना चाहिए. हो सकता है educational जो curriculum है उसमें भी awareness ला सकते हैं. So intersectoral approach लाने की ज़रूरत है. Enhance mental health ecosystem. Define quality metrics, recognize mental health advocates and ensure affordability and accessibility of care. अगर mental health experts के पास जाना affordable होगा तो people will go and discuss their problems. So this has to be increased affordability and accessibility of the care. Embrace traditional healing, like explore complementary medicines like yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, etc. So this जैसे कि this present government is emphasizing much on yoga, meditation and its benefits. So people on their own individual level also they can practice yoga and meditation, which might help them to fight with mental health issues. This is one of the way. Vipassana meditation is quite helpful in dealing with mental health issues. So take out time on your own as an individual also. If somebody is going through mental health issue, they can practice yoga and meditation and fight with such stressful situations around in our environment around, be it family at the level or the workplace environment. If it becomes toxic at individual level, you can go for yoga, meditation, etc., which will help you to deal with such stressful situations. So this is saying that bring out awareness to explore complementary medicines like yoga and Ayurveda, etc. So this is about mental health. Conclude. How do you conclude such topics? कंक्लूजन में यू कैन से बाय प्रायोरिटाइजिंग मेंटल हेल्थ केयर एंड फोस्टिंग कोलैबोरेशन, वही जो आपने सॉल्यूशंस में ये सब वे फॉरवर्ड में आपने पढ़ा, इसी को आप थोड़ा सा समराइज करके यू कैन मेंशन सपोर्ट बेस होना चाहिए, सो रेजिलिएंट मेंटल हेल्थ इकोसिस्टम क्रिएट करना है, and embrace traditional healing practices like yoga and Ayurveda etc. So these could be interventions in holistic solutions होना चाहिए, societal level पे, work place पे, family level पे, individual level पे, and also care like mental health care facility, institutional help, also the traditional complementary medicine like yoga and meditation etc. should be put into policy action and put into awareness so that these things could be embraced to fight with mental health issues. So this is all about mental health issues and this is all about today's newspaper. जो articles हमने skip किए हैं, that is to be read by you. I have mentioned them in the glossary so that you can just find them out from the newspaper and read on your own. There's nothing to be deconstructed about that article. Is just for your reading and just mind exercise. The things which needed to be dealt in detail, which was a little bit tricky to read from the articles. They are quite juggled up, too much information at one place. So I have tried to deconstruct them and put it into question answer format so that you can use it and build a question answer kind of practice. This is all about today's newspaper. All the best. Keep reading. See you tomorrow.